What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Only Football channel. My name is Kyle. As you can tell by the title, today we're going to talk about the Bills. Um, Not just any conversation about the Bills, but the state of the Bills after the expectations being pretty lofty last year. Where are we left right now with Buffalo? It's a complicated division. The Dolphins were really good last year. They are supposed to be better. The Jets are maybe the best roster in the NFL. So there are quite a few things that are different from last year. And when we talk about Buffalo, I took a bunch of little side notes, stuff I wanted to go over. And then as you can see, PATS to playoffs question mark. This is me taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the New England Patriots. The week one matchup against the Eagles is partially the reason I'm doing this deep dive. But I'm really excited about going through the Patriots, maybe highlighting some things that are easy. Like, look, if we're thinking Buffalo's a boring team, imagine how much we could accidentally sleep on the Patriots. There's absolutely nothing fun really to talk about. But they could make it to the playoffs. Can I say that? Well, let me explain. Um, I'm not saying that they have the best chance to make it out of their division. But I'm going to give you at least one reason why you shouldn't bet against this team winning 10 games and making the playoffs. All right, so PFF, Pro Football Focus, updated their website with the best defensive line. Okay, so these are the best defensive lines in the NFL. And then I looked up rushing defense as well. Okay. And the reason I wanted to look into this is because I wanted to know, how does this team match up with the Eagles? The Eagles are going to be a heavy running football team. They got a nasty offensive line. You kind of know what they're going to run. Put Jalen Hurts in the gun and use him as much as they can. So it's going to be a heavy dose of running. And then when you commit to stopping the run, we got AJ Brown, okay, and Goddard, and Philly just can beat you in so many different ways, kind of like the 49ers, right? So, I'm looking at, okay, well, who did Philly play last year? Because there was a long stretch where, and I would challenge you, go back and look at Philly's schedule last year. It's like the Jets, Jacksonville, Arizona. There's all these games that you're just like, win, 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 win. The fact that their first loss came against the Commanders, came even at a shock, because the Commanders were actually like the best defense that the Eagles had played in like 4 or 5 weeks at that point. So Dallas is supposedly going to have the best defensive line. The New York Jets are in at number 2. Buffalo in at number 3. And this is part of the Buffalo stuff, right? Where I'm like, well, let's not forget about Buffalo completely just because there's some new toys going on in the division. And then you got the 49ers coming in at 4th. I know that we don't know what's going on with Nick Bosa at the moment, but the 49ers still going to have a stout defensive line. Then you got number 5, the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are right in front of the New England Patriots, who come in at number 6. We got Bill in the chat. Hello. What's going on, Bill? Always happy to have you in here. So we got some New England Patriots talk going on right now, okay? So I'm looking at the strength of Philly. Okay, we know that they're going to play good defense. We know that they're going to run the ball. I'm looking for a team that can be really good against the run and have a really good defensive line. Is that the New England Patriots? Okay. It looks like it is, right? New England number 6 on the line. Now let's talk about how they are against the run. Okay. Their rush defense is ranked 7th. Okay. So, so their D line was actually ranked 12th. That list of teams I just gave you, Dallas, Jets, Buffalo, Niners, Philly, New England, that is the order of run defense. Okay. So, who had the best run defense? Oh, no. Okay. So, that is the D line. Excuse me. So, the best running defense last year was Tennessee Titans. And then it was the 49ers. Then it was the Baltimore Ravens. Then it was Buffalo. Then at number 5, you had Cincinnati. Number 6, Miami. And number 7, the New England Patriots. Not too shabby. Okay. And now this is kind of good here because, the Titans and the 49ers both played the Eagles last year. So if I wanted to try to look at a similar matchup like the New England game week 1, hey, did they play a game similar to the New England Patriots last year? Okay, well, let's try to find a really good run defense. Well, Yahtzee, we got Tennessee and the 49ers played the Eagles last year. And if we go through the game, you'll see they didn't play the Titans until December 9th. And by that point, Tennessee was completely just destroyed by injuries. And they won the game 10-35. And then they played the 49ers. And then Brock Purdy broke his elbow. Okay. So the Eagles kind of got a lot of passes last year. I'm not saying they didn't earn their record, but I am saying that they played a very, very weak NFC. This is a really good time to be an elite team in the NFC. There's not much competition. Exact opposites going on in the AFC. But look, when I say that the ball bounced their way a lot, just look at this. They were 7-1 in one-score games last year. 7-1. That means 8 games were decided by one score last year, and the Eagles finished in 7 of those with a W. And then a field goal or less, they had 3 games that were settled by a field goal or less. And obviously this is excluding the Super Bowl because the Eagles were 3-0 in games decided by 3 points or less. So overall, one-score game and winning field goals combined, the Eagles were 10-1. To me, it didn't seem like the Eagles were even in that many close games. You know what I'm saying? I think that's because when they beat a team, they really, beat up on you. But like for 7 of their games, man, only 7 of their games did they, give an ass whooping or get beat. So I guess only 4 games did they give an ass whooping because they got beat 3 times. And that only leaves, so many. So the Eagles might have gotten away with a lot last year, but we just saw a team that was so good that we never stopped to think, I mean, is this team really that good, or is it an illusion because there's weaker teams playing them? Okay. And then how would have Philly matched up with Dallas in the NFC Championship if it would have been, that instead of Brock Purdy and the 49ers? But they didn't earn the right to be in that game, and that's besides the point. So I'm looking at New England, and I'm wondering, okay, can this team be a legitimate contender? And I'm going to give you some of the stats that I've looked into. Okay, first off, they got Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, he signed a 3-year deal, and I know that the New England Patriots have a way of getting slightly above mediocre wide receivers, giving them a 3-year contract with middle of the pack money. And we've gotten so accustomed to the Patriots doing that it almost feels like as soon as somebody becomes a Patriot, they the hype kind of goes down. It's like, oh, he's in New England now. Oh, things aren't looking good over here, dude. I heard he's going to New England. It's like kind of not a place ever since Tom Brady left that you think of a wide receiver wanting to go. Let's just be completely honest. It's a boring offense. It's a do your job, no theatrics. The wide receiver position usually comes along with a lot of personality. All right. New England's a place where you are not supposed to freely express yourself, in certain ways. It's not Dallas. It's a military. It's the military of the NFL. And Juju Smith led the Chiefs in catches and receiving yards last year on a Super Bowl winning team. Okay, if Juju Smith would have stayed with Kansas City, I'm sure the expectations for him would have been higher. But look, he led his team in catches and receiving yards. This is an addition. This is something worth looking at. How is Juju Smith and Mac Jones going? How's the chemistry going to be on the field? We know that they got star tight ends, but really, there's not a guy that Mac Jones has. There's not a clear-cut number one receiver. Can Juju Smith step into that role? Okay. Another guy I'm looking at. So this is going back a couple seasons, but Jawan Bentley, this is my candidate for the breakout player. He's a linebacker in 2018, drafted in 2018 in the 5th round. He became a starter in 2020. He was named team captain in that same year, 2020, and last year he was named team captain again. He had a team high 122 tackles last year, 3 sacks. He had a pick and a fumble recovery. And then the New England Patriots handed him a 2-year, $18.75 million contract to reward his efforts. So Bentley this year, I think, is going to make a big impact and probably get a Pro Bowl nod. This is going to be a big year for him. And if he steps up, check this out. Okay, the New England Patriots have never, since Bill Belichick took over, missed the postseason 2 years in a row. Okay, so this is really interesting. The Patriots never have had back-to-back seasons missing the playoffs, and not only that, the 4 previous times that this has happened, that they missed the playoffs, the 4 previous years, not only did they go to the playoffs the next year, but each team, each season won 10 games or more on those next years. So Bill Belichick doesn't really rebuild, he reloads. But the problem is he's got the old method of reloading without Tom Brady at quarterback. How much faith do you have in Mac Jones? How much faith do you have in Bill O'Brien? Because here's the thing. I don't know if the team has officially named their defensive coordinator with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, but offensively, there's no doubt about it this year. The offensive coordinator is a good one. I was looking at Bill O'Brien's work when he went to Houston, and a lot of people may have forgotten about it, but Bill O'Brien was good in Houston. He had success. He had a team in the playoffs before Deshaun Watson. I mean, for Bill O'Brien's pretty much, I think he was there for 4 to 6 years, somewhere around there. For like more than not of his time there, the Texans were a relevant football team competing in January in meaningful games. So I am expecting the offense to look a lot better. I'm expecting Ramondre Stevenson to take a huge jump. Ezekiel Elliott, we just heard today. Who was it that said? Bill O'Brien said Ezekiel Elliott is a 3-down back. So a lot of people believe Ezekiel Elliott's kind of on the down end of his career. Look how they used him last year in Dallas. Tony Pollard runs up and down the field. When you get to the goal line, Ezekiel Elliott punches it in. Well, hold on a second. We're hearing from a very reputable coach that is working with Zeke every single day that he's a 3-down back. He's not just a situational goal line running back. So that's something I'm monitoring. I especially always tend to believe players are going to perform well a year after they weren't, bet on. Aaron Rodgers did this when they drafted Jordan Love, won MVP. Eckler and Saquon Barkley, I think, will have big years because they're betting on themselves. Obviously, it doesn't work out every time, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zeke and Ramondre Stevenson both have very complimentary, maybe 1,000 yards each. I would even maybe 750 and 1,500, something like that. But anyway, so the teams I looked up this just for fun. The Eagles have an 8-7 record versus the Pats. So the Patriots have a losing record versus the Eagles. And I was looking up, I was like, who else does the Patriots have a losing record? They have a losing record against Dallas, 6-8. Green Bay, they're 6-7. San Francisco, 5-9. Philadelphia, 7-8, like I said. Seattle, 9-10. Washington, 5-6. Okay. So in every single game, it's like there's not more than, 4 game difference, like 6-8. I think the biggest is 5-9. And then Denver's in here, 23-31. Holy crap. That is a lot more matchups than any of these other teams. But I do believe that Philadelphia can look. If I had to give you a winner of the game right now, it's going to be Philly, because I think Philly can overcome, and just with more talent. They're too good of a team to fall. But with the Tom Brady enshrinement and being at home, I think if the Patriots play fundamental football and they have a game plan, and by the way, Jalen Hurts isn't a rookie, but he is definitely a young quarterback still, and Bill Belichick specializes in young quarterbacks. And Philly didn't necessarily start the season super hot last year. Remember, they won that week 1 game against the Lions like 45-48. Okay, so I think it's very possible that New England squeaks out of there with a total upset. But if I have to, I would take the Eagles by 3 or 4. If I absolutely had to, but this is definitely one I'm staying away from. And now the question is, what if they go out there and they win this game? And what if Miami loses to the Chargers like they are supposed to, according to Las Vegas? And then let's say the Jets lose to Buffalo. Okay, so you would have New England, the New England Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills tied at 1-0. I know it's early in the season, but it feels like with this division, every game is going to be important. Every game's going to count. So the race is going to be on to see. Only 3 of these teams at the most can win week 1, because obviously Buffalo and New York's playing each other. So this is going to be a fun little season to watch. I'm excited to see, okay, did New England only not miss the playoffs 2 years ever in a row because they had Tom Brady, and every time they missed the playoffs, Tom Brady was hurt? Or is this something about Bill Belichick that he's very good at bouncing back? He's quick to get back up when he falls down. This is what I'm excited to see. It's like time will tell us, everything we need to know. And there's something about this Patriot team that it almost feels like if they were in maybe the AFC South with Jacksonville, maybe people would be favoring the Patriots, right? But it seems like they're just stuck being the redheaded stepchild in their division, that is no longer, very interested in the New England Patriots. So it will be interesting to see if we're all kind of wrong about this one. So the NFL is doing their own practice squad thing. If you follow your team and you were cheering for guys, you can go ahead and look up the official practice squad. your team probably signed some of your favorite players to the practice squad that they released. I did see some footage today of Jalen Hyatt going against Sauce Gardner. Um, and I was going to say, look, Sauce, he got burnt. He got burnt the first play, okay? And it was pretty bad. I mean, it was like Jalen Hyatt just ran right past him. He was running, and then he did a little stutter step, and he didn't. I mean, it looked like he went from full stop to full speed in a matter of half a second. So when Sauce went to commit to the stutter, Jalen Hyatt flew right past him. And I was looking at the comments, and there's people in there, and they're like, "Oh my God, Jalen, he just flew right past, Sauce Gardner." And I'm like, okay, that's true. He did. And these people were riding Jalen Hyatt a little bit. They were like, "Oh, that means he's going to be awesome." And it's like, not necessarily. It doesn't. And there was one guy saying, "I don't see the talent in Jalen Hyatt. I don't see what's special about him." I'm not saying that. I can clearly see that his speed makes him very special, and he's quarterback friendly, finding space. But the cornerback position is the toughest to play in the NFL. You can give me your top 10 cornerbacks of all time, and I could put together a compilation video of them being burnt, all of them. A real test of, oh, do we have a good wide receiver? Is not if you can burn Sauce Gardner, but it's about if you can run back to the huddle after that ball was not thrown on time, right? And do it again, and then do it again. And then Sauce is going to win because he's a very good cornerback. So he's going to knock it down. And then you're going to be mad that they missed you when you were open. You're going to be mad about that. And then Sauce is going to make a good play, and it's going to hit your confidence a little bit. When the wind starts shaking, right? How deep are the roots? Will the tree uproot and fly away? Or will he be able to be planted, rooted deep into this? And that is always what I'm looking for out of my receiver. When Denver drafts a receiver, I am actually waiting patiently for some film of them looking dumb, dropping a pass, getting, lit up, having that come to realization that you're in the NFL moment, because it's how they respond to those that tells you what you got right there. So I think Jalen Hyatt, just from seeing that one play, it's like he has the potential to do it physically. But this is the hardest sport in the world. There's only so many spots. There's a lot of people that want to be doing this job. If it were easy, there'd be a lot of people doing it, but it's not. So I'm all for the expectations and hype, but I do think that people should kind of chill out until we, watch at least one full game of him going against a credible cornerback. And then Bill said, my opinion on Sauce versus Hyatt. Hyatt had a slow down for an underthrown ball from Tyrod. DJ would have put that another 5 yards down the field. Yeah. I mean, that first play would have been a touchdown. I mean, that first, maybe not a touchdown, but I'll look at it again. There might have been a safety on top, but he flew right past his coverage. You could just tell. I don't know if Sauce did the Jets and Chiefs play last year. Did we did play the Jets last year? I don't know if Sauce had the Dolphins. I was thinking of Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins last year. The Jets played the Dolphins. Yeah, because they're in the same division. So Sauce has probably covered fast people before, but still. I really want to see Daniel Jones in these games, to be honest. I know that he got that drive, but but I'm really excited to see how Daniel Jones and all these new pieces, how they're going to look together. Because we just talked about the margin from Philly to Dallas not being very, far. So we look at Philly and we're like, oh my God, what an amazing defense. Well, people are saying that Dallas is right there, like right there. Okay. So right there, you got two teams that are favored to be, two of the strongest 5 teams in the NFC. And then you got the Commanders. And you can't just sleep on the Commanders. The Commanders are a deep underdog, in my opinion, to make the wild card. That defensive line is going to be nasty. They're going to have a better running game. Jahan Dotson is going to be maybe the best wide receiver too, behind T. Higgins. Scary Terry, we already know who he is. I mean, a lot of it is resting on an unknown quarterback, but I mean, his numbers in Sam Howell's numbers in the preseason have been really good. So all of this, and we haven't even gotten to the Giants who made the playoffs and upgraded. And this is what makes it so frustrating is how can everybody be better on paper, but yet one of these teams is going to be worse, and trying to figure it out. Who's it going to be? And you got to figure out, what you're going to say, what, that's something I won't bet on. When everything is looking so good, sometimes you just need a Sam Howell so you can go, finally, a team I can bet against and not feel terrible about. Until Sam Howell puts some film together and you're like, oh my gosh, tell Daniel Jones has a game like he did against the Vikings. It's going to be exciting. Week 1's going to be a very, very important week. Giants are going to have a test right off the bat. This is not going to be an easy game for them. So if the Giants want to tell everyone that they're for real, then beat Dallas on Sunday Night Football. Get it done. You're at home. You got your fans behind you. Come on, man. Win a home game. When's the last time the Giants have beat Dallas? And that would be, oh my gosh, the overreaction from Cowboys fans or Cowboys Country Nation, whatever the hell. Oh my God, that would be those are my favorite Monday mornings. And I don't hate Dallas by any means, but I just love seeing overreaction Monday. That is something I'm so excited to have back in my life. And Bill said, in a week hold by Sauce, but don't think that matters if the long run, 5 more yards TD. And I said this last year. I've said it this offseason. I'm going to say it again. Sauce Gardner got away with so much last season, so much holding. His style of play is very on top of you because he doesn't have the speed to make up for speed. So what they do is they use him in press coverage and they rely on him to disrupt the wide receiver's route before he gets into it. Because if he does get into it and you get him to a top speed, then Jalen Hyatt happens, right? The first play of that game. That's why he's in press. That's why he's so handsy. There's film on him. He got away with murder last year. I could show you an entire 5-minute clip of him just not getting called for holding. It's ridiculous. This year, those penalties are going to come out. So in a way, I expect Sauce Gardner to be exactly the same corner he was last year. But I think he's going to look worse this year because some of these flags are going to start coming out of the pocket. And then Bill said, week 1 is going to be tough. We have not done well against the Cowboys in the last 4 years. Perfect. Even better. Even better. It's a new season. It doesn't matter how long Dallas has been good. At the end of the day, it's Dak Prescott. You're telling me, like, you guys can't beat Dak Prescott? I'm telling you, even last year, the year before, Dallas was doing, pretty solid with Micah Parsons as a rookie. And Denver had Teddy Bridgewater. And we went into Dallas and won the game like 41-3. I mean, it was like our best win in a decade at this point. It was like, this is the happiest I've been since Super Bowl 50. And that was 7 years ago. I mean, it was pretty incredible. So I'm telling you, at the end of the day, divisional stuff, I think a lot of it is mental. It's like you're the little brother of your division, and it's time to punch your big brother in the face and let him know, hey, I'm right here. This is my division. And obviously, you and Dallas and the Commanders are really just all three siblings, and a total of four, with the fourth being the oldest brother, the Philadelphia Eagles. And at least you can all bond over the hatred you have in common. So yeah, you got to come out. You got to lay the hammer down immediately. This is an article that just came out, and it was covering playoff predictions. By the way, guys, it's 6 days. 6 days from football. 6 days from NFL football being for real. The Patriots claim Matt Corral, from, I believe he played at Ole Miss, drafted 2 years ago, off of waivers. The Ravens ink up quarterback Johnson. I believe that's Johnson. This dude travels all around the league, man. Josh Johnson, I think his name is. He was the Broncos quarterback fighting for the job last year. And here we go. Josh Johnson, yeah. Okay, so a couple quarterbacks got picked up today. No big deal. TJ Hawkinson is now the NFL's highest paid tight end. That deal is worth $68.5 million. The average per year value is at $17 million. Hawkinson joined the Vikings via in-season trade. Hawkinson went to Iowa, played on the opposite side of Noah Fant. A lot of people agreed that Noah Fant or TJ Hawkinson, you can't miss. Just draft whoever doesn't get picked. So we did. Noah Fant did not turn out like TJ Hawkinson. His production came at a perfect time right before he entered a contract year. The former first-round pick parlayed his 2022 output into a new contract that will elevate his compensation from a middling rate to a number higher than he previously highest paid tight end. Darren Waller was the previous highest paid tight end, making $17 million a year. So they gave him 17.1. There you go. You're the highest paid tight end now. So congratulations to TJ Hawkinson. Excited to see how he does in his first full year with the Minnesota Vikings, and Kirk Cousins and Jefferson now, along with Jordan Addison. I mean, this team, you could make an argument that they reloaded, got more weapons, and got better defensively. Not personnel-wise, but coaching-wise, better. So, I don't know. All this talk about the Vikings going to suck this year. I don't know. I got their floor at like 7 games. I don't see them losing any more than 7. Wide receiver Cooper Kupp is day-to-day after suffering a setback with a hamstring. Cooper Kupp's hamstring isn't cooperating. At the wrong time. The wide receiver experienced a setback in his road back from hamstring injury. Rams coach Sean McVay told reporters Thursday, adding Kupp suffered a muscle strain, and he's considered day-to-day. Thursday's news is certainly concerning for the Rams, who are, as McVay said, obviously a much better team when he's available. The nature of the injury is undoubtedly worrying, too, as hamstrings tend to be nagging issues if not treated with caution. LA sustained a significant number of injuries last year, contributing to their downfall from reigning champions to also ran. Kupp was among these, seeing his season cut short after just 9 games. and when Kupp departed, the Rams offense took a sharp nosedive. The Rams won't want to start another season without its best weapon and former Super Bowl MVP. With a little over a week left to go before it begins, the Rams will have to closely monitor Kupp and hope that he returns fairly quickly without risk of it becoming a frequent issue. So there you go for all the fantasy football folks out there. Got Cooper Kupp on your team. I know some people had him as a wide receiver 1. Personally, I'm not sure about all that. I just have my doubts in the Rams offense right now. Bill said Giants were started in 1925. Eagles weren't until 1933. Just FYI, we're the grandpa of the NFC East. And I meant oldest, like who's daddy? And I know this might sound weird, but every division has a daddy. The NFC North, daddy is Aaron Rodgers. Not anymore, but it was. Patrick Mahomes, I'm not going to say it, but he's the D word. And then you got the NFC East. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's daddy. And you might not want it to be, technically you can be the grandpa, but you're still calling the Eagles daddy. Just imagine you're the grandpa, the Eagles are your son, and your son has a kid, so now you call your kid dad. That's what you are. Fun fact, the Cardinals were started in 1898. Holy crap. Damn. 1898. When you were in high school at that time, Bill. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Gosh, I'm just giving you... Oh, I love the jokes. Okay. So there's some injuries going on, a little concerning for Rams fans. McDaniels, Dolphins head coach McDaniels, by the way, not Josh McDaniels, an actual real successful head coach, Mike McDaniel, applauds Raheem Mostert for how he's handled a ton of noise this offseason. Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, names were bandied about as potential accusations. Jeff Wilson's gone for the first 4 weeks on IR. Rookie Devon Achane is dealing with a dinged-up shoulder. I love Devon Achane. Raheem Mostert remains, though, standing tall as the Miami's backfield. And head coach Mike McDaniel couldn't be more impressed. Outstanding focus, McDaniel said. He's seen Mostert on Thursday via the team transcript. I couldn't highlight a guy in a better light. He's someone that's directly heard a ton of noise for months and months and months. It's almost like every day that it's loud. You see extra focus, and it emphasizes the journey of an NFL player. Epitomizes. I knew it wasn't emphasizes. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Dolphins are going to go with Raheem Mostert. A lot of phone calls. Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane. I mean, this is the epitome of the NFL. He's right. All the hot free agents, the young player that's supposed to replace you, the rookie that they just drafted, and then Raheem Mostert just going to work, doing his job. And you know what? Guess who's going to start week 1? I wonder if Raheem Mostert is being drafted or being played right away. I would think he would be a solid flex if he's going to just get, an entire workload. It looks like right now he's going to receive plenty of reps. So right now it says we're in a very fortunate business to be able to do the things we do on the stage and be compensated the way we are. McDaniel said, however, it comes at a cost. And a lot of people having opinions that directly and indirectly relate to you, and you can't control all that. I think the sooner that you can open your eyes to that, the better. So to have a guy like Raheem, who I've had such a cool journey with and watch him work, is the exact thing you have to do in this business at some point in time. On a Dolphins offense that offers speed aplenty in the backfield and receiving corps, Mostert fits in splendidly in 2022 and figures to do again so in 2023. And yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? You're looking for the guy. You're looking for the guy. Why can't he already be here? Why can't he already be on the roster? Sometimes he can. Obviously, if they really felt like they were screwed at running back, they would have made a harder push for some of those other guys, and they didn't. So maybe they're wrong or maybe they're right. We'll have to see how Mostert does once the season starts. So this is officially the last episode of the 2022 NFL season. Now, I know the preseason started. I understand that. But it's not real football. And by our next episode, it's going to be the week of. We're going to be 3 days away from football next time I come on here. And my background will be gone. My background is coming down tomorrow. And I just wanted to say to all the people out there, all of the streams that we did in this room, all of the good moments that we've had in here, and the live streaming of the games, Tom Grassi rating us twice. We've had such great moments in this bedroom, but it will come to an end. But with every end, there's a new beginning, and there's going to be a lot of new stuff about this channel that is going to be literally just different. The fact that we're going to be going to all these stadiums and doing a morning show in front of their stadium, the opportunity to interview fans at games live, fans going in there, just kind of going around checking the pulse of all the different fan bases, and then buying a house. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting all my stuff in dry storage. And when I find the right house, I will buy it, and then I'll set up a literal studio, and then it'll look like this again, but it'll probably be a little more cool. The microphone won't be on a pile of books. The lighting will be better. And even when everything is better and the podcast is, got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I will always think back of this room as a special time where it was the people here that actually got us over the hump and got us to 100,000. It was the people at 11:45 at midnight inside of this tiny bedroom that made it all possible. So I wanted to just say that because I'm really going to miss this room clearly, as you can tell. But this is a podcast that is going to be on the go. So just because the room goes down doesn't mean anything's happening to us. And if you want to be able to follow us, Twitter is a good place to do it. You can follow me at FTBLONLYPODCAST. You can follow my partner Rick at And Now Rick, ANDNOWRICK. And you can go ahead and subscribe and like this channel, help out our algorithm. I know you guys have been doing that. Every time I get done with the episode, I go up there, open up the video. It's already got 3-4 likes on it. So thank you guys for helping out with that. Bill said, good on you, Kyle. I'm happy that you're finding a new place. Thank you, Bill. Super excited about it. And yeah, we will keep in touch. I'm going to be going live Monday. Monday might be the last episode. It depends. Probably not. This will probably be gone on Monday. But it's all right. It's all going in a box, and it'll be unpacked when the time is right. We don't got time for backgrounds anyway because we got to hit the road and go to 20 NFL stadiums in only a short amount of time. So we got to put it in storage anyway. This is the channel that's going to bring you the content that you've never seen before. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of those videos. I thank you guys again for everything, and I will see you guys soon. Bill, always a pleasure having you in here. and I'll see you guys on Monday. See ya!